So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video on camera edition. I hope you guys are all happy to see me. I know I've been gone, but before we get into it, let's go ahead and cue that theme song. Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, say Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, say Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, say Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats, say, grab a snack and bring it back, hey, Chioma Chats, it's Chioma Chats, hey, get it, shake that, shake, and it's Chioma Chats, period, we're back again. Hey y'all, I'm back. I know I've been gone. I'm so sorry. I've been very busy. As y'all know, I'm competing in my first ever national pageant, which is the Miss Diaspora Nigeria USA 2025 pageant at the end of this month of August. This is my first pageant ever. If you guys have any tips, definitely let me know, but it's just been a busy time. I also did a speech in Dayton, Ohio this past weekend, so I vlogged that. I've been vlogging, so I've been trying to keep up with, you know, the whole social media influencer thing, but just been a bit busy. But by the title, we are going to be talking about Lil Tay. Yes, the infamous 9-year-old at the time flexer on the internet. She has now joined OnlyFans. She has now joined OF. This is the same Lil Tay who was the self-proclaimed youngest flexer of the century. She went viral when she was 9 years old. She was standing in front of luxury cars. She was waving around stacks of cash. She was making me look broke, and I think I was 20 at the time.
Lil Tay just copped a brand new Ferrari. Y'all haven't seen this car in your lives. I'm out here flexing and all y'all broke ass haters. I got a $350,000 chain. Y'all haven't seen this in your lives. I'm richer than all y'all broke ass haters. Y'all grown ass men hating on me cause y'all broke and jealous. Y'all rappers out here, I ain't even started rapping yet, but I'm richer than you, bitch.
And she knows she was just roasting people online like she was a grown rapper. And she did put out music, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, it's wild because for a lot of us, she wasn't just like some random internet kid. I think she was part of that era of viral personalities that you really couldn't escape even if you wanted to. Like the whole do it for the Vine thing back in like 2014. When did Vine go away? 26. I think Vine was at its peak in like 2013. So everybody was doing it for the Vine at one point, and then it kind of transitioned to like Instagram flexers. They're going viral on Instagram, and that's when like she came in at only 9 years old. And you know, back then people laughed at her. They called her funny or even annoying, and you saw her posted up with like mainstream rappers. I believe she was posted up with Chief Keef at a time. Like literally, I remember seeing this. But a lot of people didn't really stop to think about what was going on behind all of those videos until she got exposed. You know, to people, she was just a child performing for a mostly adult audience, and that was already weird enough when you think about it. But now, years later, she's 18 and she just made her debut on OnlyFans. So the headlines are calling it shocking, but to me, honestly, it's not really shocking. I mean, haven't we seen this before? To me, it's very predictable. It's part of like this very disturbing trend that we've been watching play out for years. The pipeline from child star to sex worker. And when I say pipeline, I don't necessarily mean that this is like a shame to sex work in itself, but I mean it in a way that there is a system, like a machine, that kind of grooms children, especially young girls, to see their value in fame, money, and being desirable to adults. That's why there's a lot of adultification of a lot of young women that we see. I've done many videos about it. Alabama Barker, Tatiana Chanel, Jody Woods, they all look older than what they are. And by the time that these girls are legal, the most profitable next step is usually sexualizing themselves for the same audience that watched them grow up. And that's weird. And let's be real, Lil Tay has always been known for fake flexing. So when she claims that she made $1 million from OnlyFans as soon as she turned 18, I literally saw this on her Instagram. It's pinned on her page. You can go look at it right now. I personally take that with a grain of salt. I ain't even trying to be funny. Like, I'm not trying to bully her or nothing, but she literally built her brand, her whole brand, on exaggerating and clout chasing, right? But even if it is exaggerated, the fact that the internet believes, like actually believes that she could make that kind of money instantly says a lot about the way that she was marketed as a child and the audience that's been following her ever since that she was a little girl. This is the exact same playbook that we saw with Bhad Bhabie, aka Danielle Bregoli, right? She went from viral 13-year-old meme on Dr. Phil, Cash Me Outside, to rap career, and then on her 18th birthday, breaking OnlyFans records by allegedly making millions of dollars in hours. So the pattern is not like subtle, and if we're being very honest, this pipeline isn't going to stop. Like, I think this is what it is. It's going to keep happening as long as the internet keeps rewarding it. So I wanted to talk about this, and I've broken this video down into 3 main talking points. So without further ado, let's get right into this video.
This video is sponsored by Aura. Thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video.
So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. But before we jump into it, let me put you on game real quick because this blew my mind. I found out that there are actual websites out here with my personal information on full display, like my phone number, old addresses, even random stuff I don't remember signing up for. Very weird. And the wildest part is that all of these sites are selling my information, all without my permission. And that is why I partnered with today's sponsor, Aura. If you've ever gotten spammy calls out of nowhere or weird emails or texts that feel just a little bit too specific, it's probably because of data brokers. These companies collect all of your information, they package it up and sell it to whoever's buying. So scammers, marketers, and yes, even creeps. And trying to remove your info manually is nearly impossible. Like, who has time for that? But Aura makes it simple. They scan the web for your exposed personal data and they start getting it taken down automatically with immediate effect. I've been using Aura myself and it honestly gives me peace of mind knowing that I'm being protected in the background 24/7. But Aura isn't just about data removal. It is a full suite of digital protection. So real-time alerts for suspicious activity, dark web surveillance, a built-in VPN, antivirus, and password manager, and best of all, up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. You literally cannot beat that. Plus, they've got real human support available whenever you need it. So no bots, real people. The truth is, your personal info being out there without your consent is not just annoying and frustrating, it is also very dangerous. And Aura is how I take my power back. You can try it out completely free for 14 days at aura.com/Queen Chioma. It is pinned down below and on your screen. They'll start cleaning up your info right away, and you don't even have to lift a finger. I'm protecting my peace, and I want you all to do the same. So big thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video. So my first point is the making of a child viral sensation. And we've seen this in so many ways. I was actually watching Dance Moms and I watched the reunion. I've watched the reunion before, like the new one. I just randomly came across it again. And I'm like, these children were so exploited. I think these girls are maybe like 5, 6, 7 years younger than I am, but to watch it back now, they were very much exploited. And I think the whole child viral sensation is very much a negative thing. Lil Tay's rise wasn't an accident, if you ask me. From the start, she was actually like a product. Like, she was carefully packaged by adults. In this case, it was her mother and her brother who knew that a rich, rude little girl would go viral. I don't know if y'all saw that viral video of like the little girl who was caught shoplifting in a mall, and she literally rode the escalator back up to beat on the women or the girls who snitched on her and who told on her. And she went viral and people were praising it. And people were saying, give her a baddie chain. Like, literally, there's something about young girls who are under 18, I'm talking girls for real, who when they exhibit rude or bad girl behavior, for some reason it goes viral. So Lil Tay wasn't buying Lamborghinis or living in these mansions. Those were all props. And they were props that belonged to other people, but we didn't know that at first. But because adults were pulling the strings, they could craft an image that played into internet shock value. That's what it was. The audience wasn't made up of like other 9-year-old kids. No, okay? The majority of people that watched Lil Tay were adults. I was even an adult and I'm like, what the heck is this? Adults were laughing at her, they were critiquing her, or in the creepiest corners of the internet, they were sexualizing her, which we see now. That's the part that people don't want to talk about at times. Every time a child goes viral, there is a percentage of adults consuming that content in ways that that are inappropriate. And that's the reality. That's why I don't get when people put like all of their family life online, because the way how people are so creepy towards kids. Growing up, to me as an influencer or content creator, I started at the age of 17. I was a teenager. I was under 18. I was a kid. To where I am now, almost 11 years later, I wouldn't put my child online in the way that I was online. And not to say I was posting all the time, but I would definitely regulate my child's social media way more. Like if I have a daughter and she says, Mom, I want to be an influencer, a content creator just like you, it would be highly regulated. I promise you, because I've seen the nastiest and most inappropriate things. So to me, this is the first step though in that pipeline. Children being introduced to adult audiences and being told that their worth is in entertainment, in attention, and in marketability. From the moment she went viral, Lil Tay's job was to keep people watching, keep people tuned in, seeing how big she's gonna flex the next time. And if that meant acting more outrageous or swearing or being more ratchet or leaning into controversy, that's what the adults around her pushed her to do. And let's be real, she wasn't alone. Like I said, Bhad Bhabie had the same exact trajectory. At the age of 13, she became a meme for talking back to Dr. Phil, being rude, but very quickly the internet wasn't laughing. They were kind of obsessed with her image, her attitude, and yes, they were sexualizing her years before she was legal. And that's exactly why when she turned 18 and opened an OnlyFans, millions of people subscribed instantly. There are men who are waiting for girls to turn 18, and we need to talk about that. This has also happened to me before. I've gotten messages when I was a teenager, because I've always been taller, I look older than what I am as a kid. When I was younger, I would get messages like, hey, when you turn 18, hit me up. Do y'all remember the song Every Girl in the World where he says, in about 3 years, holla at me, Miley Cyrus? Like, those things are not just lyrics or bars or just for fun. Like, some of these guys are weird, right? They're waiting for it, and they were waiting for her. So the disturbing part is how normalized that this has become when we see a child acting like an adult online and we don't question the parents enough. Her parents were actually behind this, her mom. We don't ask who was filming, which was her mom, who's approving the captions, who's cashing the checks. Instead, we just consume and we share and we comment, and that cycle continues because it is profitable. Kids like Lil Tay are groomed, and not in the explicit stranger danger way that we talk about in all these PSAs and stuff, but in a commercial corporate way. They are trained to view themselves, in this case, as products, as a product, a service. And once you view yourself as a product, it becomes a lot easier to accept the idea that sexualizing yourself for profit is a natural next step once you're legal. And to be honest, that is conditioning. It's not that Lil Tay woke up one day and said at 18, you know what? I think I want to be an OnlyFans model. No, I don't think it's that. It's that she's been performing for adults her entire life, since she can remember. She's been rewarded every time she pushed the envelope. She's been surrounded by adults who benefited from her doing exactly that, i.e. the videos I saw her with grown rappers. That is the foundation of the pipeline. Now, moving on to point number 2, the burnout and the independence illusion. Emphasis on independence illusion, because I think a lot of these young women and young girls think that they're independent, and that's definitely an illusion. So the second stage of the pipeline is burnout, and it is so brutal. When you've been working since childhood, even if it's just making videos, you're tired, you're drained. You've spent your formative years performing instead of living. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I do struggle with this because I have spent the majority of, my teenage years into my adult years as a content creator on YouTube, almost not necessarily performing like this is my real self, but at the same time, having to be, cut and be on at all times. And I'm in therapy for social anxiety. Even though if you meet me outside, I meet y'all all the time, I will speak to you. I have no issue with that. However, my thought process, it's not what I'm performing. I can perform, I can have a conversation, but my thought process on how I am supposed to behave as a young woman, a young lady, and now someone who is, going into her 30s in the next few years, it has definitely taken a toll. The internet doesn't care about your mental health at all. It cares about whether whether you're still entertaining. That's why I take a lot of breaks. When these kids finally turn 18, they crave independence like every other teen. They want control over their image. They want to make their own money without mom and dad or, brother or manager taking half or whatever. But y'all, here is the catch. When all you've ever known is monetizing yourself, independence, right, still means selling the same thing. It just means you're the one in charge now. So this is where OnlyFans comes in. It is marketed as empowerment to a certain degree.
I'm taking control of my body. I'm setting my prices. I'm making my own money.
And on some level, that can be true. But for girls like Lil Tay and Bhad, there is another layer. It's the most obvious way to cash in on the audience that's been sexualizing you for years. So all the DMs that they've probably been seeing from grown men saying, hey, I can't wait until you're 18, or you look so good, I wish I could do this, but you're a kid. Now that they've reached 18, this is how they cash in on all of those things that they've been seeing before they were even 18. Trust me, a lot of young girls have been hearing this very inappropriate rhetoric from as young as 10 years old, if not younger. Talk to your daughters, please, okay? If I have any men watching in particular, please have these conversations with your daughters. So basically, the demands already exist and they've been seeing it. Bhabie's story is basically the blueprint. She turned 18, launched her OnlyFans, and allegedly made millions of dollars in hours. And to me, that's not really random. That is the result of years of internet grooming where people counted down to her 18th birthday. Lil Tay's alleged $1 million debut is literally the same narrative, just with the added layer that she's known for fake flexing. So we got to take it with a grain of salt. So whether the numbers are real or not, the fact that people believe it speaks to the audience's hunger for that type of content from girls they first met as children. Think about that. The burnout makes the decision easier. You're tired of the grind, right? You want quick money. You've been taught your whole life that your image, especially your sexualized image, is your most valuable asset. So combine that with the desire to prove that,
hey, I'm grown now, right?
And you have the perfect storm for this career pivot. But the independence is often an illusion, like I said, because the money comes with strings at all costs. The audience that pays for your content still feels like they have ownership over you, which kind of. The same exploitation just takes a different form. Only now you've been convinced that you're the one calling the shots when in reality, that's not really true. So moving on to my third and final point, vulture families and the never-ending cycle. This always starts somewhere and it's always the family. In so many of these cases, the parents are the ones pulling the strings. They're managing the accounts, pocketing the money, and making the decisions. And once a kid becomes the breadwinner, which it does happen with child stars, it changes everything. The dynamic basically shifts. The kid's career isn't just a fun hobby anymore. It's literally the family's livelihood. Lil Tay's situation was messy even when she was 9 years old. There were public disputes between her parents, which we saw between her mom and dad, accusations of financial exploitation, and questions about who really was controlling her career. And I think that kind of instability is exactly what breeds this type of cycle. When you see the adults around you see you as the meal ticket, there's no incentive to protect your innocence or your future anymore. The goal is, hey, I want to keep the money flowing for me. And when that money slows down, because apparently it did for her, the pressure to find a new revenue stream kicks in, because now everyone's like, well, you're 18, you're done with high school, you graduated, you're an adult, what you gonna do? That's why we see so many of these girls turn to OnlyFans or similar platforms. Talk about it. It's not just really a choice for them. To me, it sounds like survival. Bhad has talking about how much money she's made and how she's set for life, but she also admitted that the pressure was enormous, right? Once you're the provider, you don't just get to quit and live a quiet life. No, that's a fantasy. That's a fairy tale. People depend on you. And if sex work is the quickest path back to that level of income, that is where you're gonna go. The saddest part to me is that doesn't even stop with Lil Tay or Bhad. With YouTube and TikTok and family channels and reality TV still exploiting minors for views as they've always done, there is an endless supply of kids being fed fed into this machine. Like I mentioned, dance moms. And as long as the internet keeps sexualizing them before they are legal, we will keep seeing this exact same child star to sex worker trajectory repeat. So just to wrap up, yes, Lil Tay's OnlyFans might just seem like another celebrity headline, but to me, it's actually part of something much bigger and much uglier. It's the end result really of years of conditioning and years of exploitation and audience grooming that really does come from adults. And until we start holding those adults accountable and the industry accountable, this cycle is going to keep claiming more young girls. And that is so sad. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. As y'all know, my pageant is coming up. So click the link down below if you want to support me to becoming Miss Diaspora Nigeria USA 2025. I appreciate it, y'all. You guys have been so helpful, so supportive. I really appreciate it. I've partnered with today's sponsor, Aura. You can try it out completely free for 14 days at aura.com/Queen Chioma. It is pinned down below and on your screen. They'll start cleaning up your info right away, and you don't even have to lift a finger. I'm protecting my peace, and I want you all to do the same. So big thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video. And last but not least, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Jersey, I'm the cake boss. Barking with my dogs, running through y'all like I'm Saquon. Oh, you again? OMG, I'm getting pissed off. I've been past you, I lapped you, coming fast just like I seesaw. Nigerian girl, I'm somewhere hot, might go and get my wrist frost. A halo hoe who like to tell she's staying at the Ritz-Carlton. Yes, I'm a 10. I really am a 10. I'm throwing bows, I'm swinging R's, I hit that car